Well, after the initial lockdown where the Isle of Man has been really on its own, nobody getting in or out unless you were a key worker, today saw the first sailing bringing back the first 30 people who've been allowed to come back through this new system where they have to pay for their journey, pay to stay at the Comis Hotel behind me. And then you see the shots as the boat came in. It's quite remarkable really, because there's the Arrow going out, which is obviously a bit of a lifeline as well for us at the moment, while the Ben McCree is not doing the service for the next couple of weeks. So what did greet people here in the Isle of Man? Well, a police escort was provided. Police were on standby. 2 coaches were used for this purpose of transferring the 30 people. And as you can see, they're leaving the sea terminal in Douglas. I believe that those coaches were on board, so they just were using those. So once everyone left the sea terminal, the police escort was with them, and they were actually stopping traffic at roundabouts to let the coaches through, and they had their lights on throughout the journey. And when we got up to the hotel, as you can see, we just got these shots of people getting out and getting ready to spend their 14 days in isolation as such. We were speaking to some people who work here. Apparently they have set up what they refer to as a very nice system that they can get fresh air. They've got access to that. And over the last few days you can see this fence that's been put up around the hotel. Keep people in or keep people out. Certainly it's tall enough so you're not going to be talking to friends and relatives over that. So this is obviously going to be quite a unique situation where people have been asked to spend up to £1,000 to self-isolate, and that will be going on now for some time, as around 400 people are expected to return to the Isle of Man. Of course, at some point things may be slacking off anyway. We just don't know at the moment. The lockdown is continuing for some time, but in the meantime, I suppose most people will just be happy that they are back on the Isle of Man and to see out their 2 weeks here, which is full board and lodgings for their £1,000. Some people don't pay that, of course, because they can get that back. And the government says people who can't afford it up front, they can pay over some time. But probably one of the more unusual uses of almost interment since World War II here on the Isle of Man, when people remember the promenade was used for that occasion when all the hotels were blocked off for the internees to stay here. So life kind of coming back to normal for those first 30 people now, I suppose, as they are back on the Isle of Man, and some of them had incredible journeys that they've been travelling around the world to get back just to the UK. Of course, when they were in the UK, they got tested with heat guns and taking their temperatures and those sort of things. But technically, of course, they sit this out now, and presumably, if there's any sign of anybody going sick, they'll have to be taken into isolation completely away from everybody else.